Hi everybody, I'm Greg Fishel. Welcome to bonus weather video number 1 for this week, and we're going to be talking about something called the dendritic growth zone. And so I've entitled this The Preference of Flakes. If you could interview a flake other than me, how would they answer the question, what conditions do you like the most in order for you to prosper? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right, so what is the dendritic growth zone? It is a zone where the formation of snowflakes in the shape of dendrites, which implies tree-like. It's the type of snowflake that we're most familiar with. It's the ones you see in books and drawings and anything relating to winter weather. There are all sorts of different sizes and shapes of ice crystals, but this is the one that is most familiar to us when we talk about snow. Now, the formation of these flakes is favored in a temperature zone between minus 12 and minus 18 degrees C, and that translates to a range of about 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me see if I'm doing that right. Hold on. No, about 10 degrees Fahrenheit to about maybe minus 1 or minus 2 Fahrenheit, okay? Minus 10 Celsius is 14. So minus 12 would be about 10, and minus 18 is right around 0 to minus 1, so in that range. And if you have vigorous upward motion occurring in the zone, snowflakes will form rapidly and can lead to heavy snow. So I'm going to show you 3 forecast soundings. This comes from the website tropicaltidbits.com, and again, the red line is the temperature, the green line is the dew point, and the line in the middle there is the wet bulb temperature. In other words, what the air would cool to if it suddenly became saturated. But the most important thing here is way over on the left. You see where it says DGZ, and there are 2 dotted lines some distance apart from each other? That is the dendritic growth zone. And in that area, you also see a bunch of bars, yellow bars, orange bars, that extend to either the right or to the left. And if it's to the right, that means you've got upward motion going on, okay? Now, in this particular case, at this time, and this actually verifies at 7 o'clock a.m. on Wednesday morning, nothing's going on at that point. The air is not completely saturated yet because the red and the green lines are still separate. And if you look in that DGZ zone, it does not have any big bars going over to the right, and so you wouldn't expect it to be snowing at this particular point in time. Now let's move on. And this is at noontime. Now all of a sudden, the red and the green line are just about on top of each other, and so it is saturated, and we've got vigorous upward motion going on in that particular zone. So if you were to take this literally, it would probably be snowing pretty hard at this particular point in time. And then if we go to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we have some significant upward motion again in the dendritic zone, and that layer is also either saturated or close to being saturated, so probably some decent snow falling at that time as well. Now, the other thing you have to consider here, notice the red line is touching that 0 line, the freezing line, and so just a small increase in that changes everything from snow over to a sleet and or freezing rain scenario. But this is one of the things we look for, and I got to be honest with you, Dr. Gary Lackman over at NC State first exposed this to me back in, I believe it was December of 2000. And I don't know how many of you remember this that were in the area, but you know, we were coming off the big 20-inch snow in January, and a lot of the model guidance was indicating a veritable repeat of that in December. And so we all fell for it. And I remember Gary and I talking on the phone, and he said, Greg, the only thing that bothers me about this is that it's very dry in the crystal growth zone, the dendritic growth zone. And as it turns out, we got very little snow, just I think a dusting in the Raleigh area. They did get about 8 or 9 inches over around Rocky Mount, but in the Raleigh area and Durham and Chapel Hill, it didn't end up being anything like it looked like it would on that Saturday before the event actually moved in. So this is a really, really important thing. And this is also how sometimes you can get, freezing drizzle with a temperature of 10, okay? And you're sitting there going, how could that happen? I mean, if the whole atmosphere is below freezing, then why are you not getting snow? And it's because there's this specific temperature range where snow crystals form, and if you don't have that temperature range where there's upward motion going on and saturation, then you're not going to get snowflakes. And so you can end up getting this super cooled water that ends up freezing, and it's 10 degrees, so obviously it's going to do that especially when it hits the ground. But you're not going to get snowflakes because the right conditions do not exist aloft to form them. All right, that's it for now. That's bonus weather video number 1 for this week. Hope you found that interesting. Next one will be coming up Wednesday, time permitting. And, of course, the next daily weather update will be coming up tomorrow, and more frequent updates than that, more than likely. Okay, folks, you all take care, and we'll talk to you soon. See you later.